Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now I do want to apologize. I know we've been off of the air for your 10 and 11 a.m. hits. We had some technical difficulties as far as internet and network connectivity goes. Hopefully we've got that solved and you guys again can see us and can get your news and weather. Now, of course, we want to start out with some of the news stories that have been happening in our newsroom, or we've been getting details on. First one, police are asking for your help in identifying this person who broke into a tobacco and vape shop overnight. Havelock police say it happened around 2:20 a.m. at King Drive-Thru Tobacco and Vape on Roosevelt Road. Police say nearly $500 in goods were stolen in the break-in. The person then ran from the store. Anyone who has information that would help with this investigation should call Havelock Police at 252-447-3212. You can find that number at the bottom of your screen. And now for those of you watching in Onslow County who may be around the Southwest Middle School area, understand that you've probably seen plenty of first responders out and about. That's because there is an emergency test going on. The Onslow County Sheriff's Office wants the public to be aware of the exercise taking place at Southwest Middle School at 1 p.m. today. Now, increased law enforcement and emergency responder presence will be seen. Again, this is coming up in just under 1 hour, the start of the exercise. Deputies say the exercise will feature a simulated emergency with live actors portraying victims and training dummies. Now, deputies, firefighters, and EMS crews will be around the school's campus as they undergo the exercise. Officials say the goal of the exercise is to evaluate first responders' actions so that in the event of an emergency, they are better prepared to respond. Jacksonville Police is also set to be on hand to monitor the response and assist in making recommendations. And another story we want to highlight is that a national chain is closing multiple locations. One of those locations in eastern North Carolina, at least in Greenville, closed earlier this December. A restaurant chain, again, the Noodles & Company chain in Greenville has permanently shut down, with more locations across the nation set to close this year. Located at 3030 Evans Street, Noodles & Company closed its doors back in December, according to Google Maps. Now, shortly before it shut down, customers reported seeing a note at the restaurant announcing the closure of the dining room, with online orders still being fulfilled. In 2025, Noodles & Company said it had closed 33 company-owned restaurants and 9 franchises. Last week, officials announced that 30 to 35 more restaurants would shut down in 2026. And now for a look at your weather forecast. And this is information that you are going to want to know. We are looking at a fairly rough weekend this coming weekend. Last weekend, again, we had a little flirtation with a few flakes. We are now looking at a system that is not so much really, we are seeing an increase in our snowflake potential, but the real danger from this system comes with the amount of ice accumulation we could see across eastern North Carolina and across the entire state. This is a massive system that's going to be impacting a lot of folks in the southeastern United States in a very negative way. Right now, not looking at anything super concerning for today, tomorrow, or even Thursday. But as we approach Friday and then get into Saturday and Sunday, conditions are going to deteriorate. Right now, we've got 41 degrees outside in Greenville. Northerly wind at 5 miles an hour makes it feel like 38 degrees. Here's a look in Washington. 41 feels like 37. Northwesterly breeze along the Pamlico River. There, but certainly not overly strong. Current air temperatures right now reading in the upper 30s to low 40s, with the mid 40s present across some of our coastal communities. Current winds, again, here we can see we've got some internet issues. It's not everything is loading up on our graphics, but right now winds generally coming in out of the northwest at about 6 to 12 miles an hour. Beaufort seeing a 15 mile per hour sustained breeze. Stumpy Point at 14 mile an hour sustained wind. And of course, network issues just can continue to pop up. This isn't going to be as as informational because we are missing out on a lot of the model data that we want to show you. But here is a look at the incoming system Wednesday. This is the system that will help bring about cold air into eastern North Carolina. But the moisture source is going to be that area of low pressure you're seeing towards Houston. That is a system we are going to be tracking very closely. The position of that low will determine whether or not we see an abundance of snow, an abundance of sleet, or an abundance of freezing rain. Regardless, we are looking at rough winter conditions. Here's a look at your full 8-day forecast. And again, want to highlight that we have got an opportunity to potentially see upwards around ½ an inch of ice accumulations over the weekend on both Saturday and Sunday. That right now is looking like the biggest danger. Now, we could also certainly see snowflakes mix in as well. Notice your daytime highs, 31 degrees on Saturday, 33 on Sunday, with overnight lows down in the low 20s Saturday night into Sunday morning, and then down into the teens Sunday night into Monday morning. Monday stays cold, so anything that does fall and sticks to the ground, likely ice and sleet and potentially some snow as well, will be there as we make our way through the day on Monday. Most likely seeing, again, still some sleet and some accumulations on roads, some ice as well, coming up on Tuesday. So understand that this is going to be a system that doesn't just impact us over this weekend, it will extend into the start of next week as well. Right now, we have it labeled as a wintry mix. I think that really downplays the seriousness of this, as we could see, again, inches of accumulations of some ice, sleet, and snow all combined together. This is looking like more of a headache than anything else. I know last week we were talking about the opportunity for maybe a few snowflakes this past Sunday. We saw a few of them fall for specific areas of eastern North Carolina, but certainly didn't see widespread headaches as far as winter weather goes. Coming up this upcoming weekend, I believe that changes. We are looking at the type of event that we want people to prepare for. Now, I don't want to, again, send everybody out in droves for bread and milk, but you should be thinking about potentially facing a system that could lead to widespread power outages. So making sure you have the right food you need in order to deal with very cold temperatures and a potential power outage, that is something you should start preparing for now. Again, it's one that there could certainly still be some adjustments with the forecast. We could see maybe a little bit more rain push in if that area of low pressure decides it wants to track a little bit further northward. But, you know, on the flip side of that, if it decides it wants to stick a little bit further south, that opens us up to a little bit more snowfall. So there is certainly still some adjustments that can be made with the forecast over the next few days. But what we have seen so far is cold air that is locked in and a moisture source that is going to be broad and stocked with a lot of water. It's going to be coming in, getting a lot of its moisture off of the Gulf, and that's going to again lead to an incredibly high source of moisture. So you have cold air, you've got moisture, those things are going to be combining over eastern North Carolina. The question is, where does that rain snow line sit? I'd say worst case scenario is it sits right over eastern North Carolina, because snow is one thing. So you can have a little fun in snow. Yeah, it still creates some headaches, but the opportunity for power outages isn't quite as high in a straight snow event than it is in a freezing rain event. And in this instance, again, the power outages, I think, are going to be the biggest danger for eastern North Carolinians, especially those who may be, hampered in their health, or maybe elderly. Those are the people you should check on early and make sure everyone is prepared. If you've got neighbors or maybe parents, grandparents that need to get checked on, make sure that they are stocked up with what they need in order to make it through potentially a 2 to 3 day power outage if things turn bad. And of course, we will have more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Hopefully I didn't completely scare everybody, but want you to know that now is the time to start preparing for what is going to be a wintry weather weekend. Now, weather, again, it's snow, sleet, freezing rain, most likely a combo of all three. There will again be headaches, there will be problems on the roads. and we could see some power outages. We will have more details, and hopefully, again, I can get our weather system working. I'm going to give it a restart. Hopefully by 1 o'clock, I can show you guys exactly where that rain-snow line is setting up, at least at this point in the game. But yeah, for right now, that's all we have time for. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 1 o'clock.